and welcome to another edition of Going Bright. Today I'm standing in my new shop with invisible walls, and in this edition I'm going to install some these Ubiquiti, they're Unify Wi-Fi access points. Trying to get some coverage. I put one up on the driveway earlier, and I put one over at the end of the shooting range, and now I'm going to, in this edition, try and finish that out by installing the one kind of in the middle of the forest. But the idea is to get Wi-Fi coverage throughout the property. Cell service out here kind of stinks, so this is a good solution for that. So stay tuned, and we'll go over the highlights of how I went through that. Well, today I'm going to do some networking out in the forest. I've got one access point kind of set up. I've got another one I'm going to try and get going, but we're going to drive out and see how things look. Cheers. Got a little bit of grading left to do, but we'll get there. Some of these roads here are a little rough. Alright, so the first access point is right up here on my left. So it's kind of at the end of my shooting range. I'm not sure this is the greatest idea, but we'll find out soon. But it does give good coverage right in here. I needed it somewhat close to the house. So we're going to go to the other side, try and get a little bit better access point Wi-Fi coverage over at the other part of the forest. So we'll loop down this way. I was thinking in this area here, this is about center of our east forest, kind of where the feeder is. So let's see if this spot would work. So what I have to do is I've got to set the access point up and then kind of turn it on and then walk around and see what kind of coverage I get, and then decide if where I am is a good spot. So actually I'm on my phone. Let me see. Right now I have really good solid Wi-Fi coverage here. All right, so I got my wireless access point set up here, sitting off of my battery pack and my Frankenstein inverter. Had to move a little bit because this spot seems to be able to connect to the other access point and have excellent connectivity. I don't want to have, because I've got to go from the house to one AP to this AP, so it's a mesh. And then when you're connecting to this one, it's got to go from this one back to the other one and then back to the house. So we're getting a little ways out. But now I'm going to walk around a little bit. I won't bore you with that, and just test and see how the Wi-Fi is off in the areas. In the outskirts, hopefully I still get really good connectivity and speed tests. And then what I'll do is I'll plop a post here. Good thing about the way I'm setting these things up is they're pretty movable. So if I'm working in an area, I can just pull these pipes out and move the battery and such for them and work and then put it back. So here we go. Can he reach it? All right, so we're going to mount this right about here. Ubiquiti Unify is the company I'm using for these parts. Seems to do a really good job. The price is inexpensive, I should say good, and the quality of their parts is really pretty good. So the kit comes with everything I need to mount it to a pole, as long as I can nut loose all the screws and nuts. The breeze feels nice, but the mosquitoes are getting a little irritating. So the first first off. We have half a mount on that side, half a mount on this side. Get these kind of prepped, ready to go. That way I'm not juggling quite as much. Is a, what is this, 13 millimeter. So let's see if I can just get the top bracket set and then go with the lower one in a bit. Oops. Just going to go around that way. There. And these don't need to be super tight either. I mean, this thing doesn't weigh much. And once we get that going, we can get the other half on. And I'll go do another walk around test to make sure we're still getting what we need. And I ordered a battery box and inverter. They should be here tomorrow. So we'll get that wired up. So in the interim, this is just going to be kind of only working while I'm parked here with the farm truck. Not sure if at some point I want to paint this all so that it's a little more camouflage. Maybe that'd be a good idea, I don't know. Alright, so he's secured. Put this little waterproof cover on. Maybe I should have done that before I got it all mounted. Doesn't want to slide in. There we go. Okay. So, and of course I got a knot. Well, I can undo that when I get it all undone. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go drive around or walk around and get another read and see how well this thing's doing in this spot. I just wandered to the back corner of the property and I'm getting acceptable Wi-Fi signal strength. Sorry, the trail here is really rough. Somebody needs to grade this trail. Lots of work out here. But I think I'm happy with the position of those two access points out here in East Forest. Should be able to do just about anything out here that you'd want to do standing in a forest. I mean, I'm certainly not going to sit here and try and upload YouTube videos from the forest. Although if you're out here, I will get phone calls, which was the key piece I was trying to get going, so that I had good Wi-Fi access for Wi-Fi calling, since cell service here is just not the greatest. Anyway, so far success. Now I just got to get a battery box and inverter mounted at the base of that pipe pole, and we should be good. All right, so this is my other battery box. I wanted to check and see. I got this cheesy way of latching it shut. But, so we're at 12.6 volts. I'm going to see if I can keep a monitor on that and make sure I know exactly how much charge it's going down, how long this thing will last. So I just walked back into the East Forest after I disconnected that one. In the far corner, I am connecting over to the Forest AP, but it's so far away that I'm getting pretty poor performance. But so that kind of proves my science out that once I get that one powered, that we should have really good Wi-Fi connectivity throughout the entire property now. The call box up front gives the front yard, and the other two here in the forest, since it's a lot of wood and stuff for signal to bounce around, should get good coverage back here. So all good. Now once the shop's built, I just need to run a line in there. That's going to be a big metal Faraday cage, so I'll need to put a couple of my good access points in there, which I still have one or two high-end ones left. So I'll be able to pop those in there and have good Wi-Fi coverage throughout the property. Yeah, you know, I got all of this stuff about when we moved in. And I got so distracted with so many things that I never sat down to put the access points in. Something got me distracted. I don't know what it was, but anyway, that project got put on hold. Maybe it was priorities for other things, but it's amazing how many different things there are to do, and then how you get distracted and run down a course of not getting some of the other things done. But now we got good Wi-Fi, and it's all good. So I do finally remember exactly why it was that I put this project on hold, and it's because I was going to try and use solar powered battery and whatnot in the forest, and that just wasn't going to work with all of the shadows and stuff, the shade. So I ended up with these deep cycle lead acid batteries, and I'm going to put those with an inverter and run those. So that's what kind of solved the problem. So thanks for watching. If you get a chance, would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, and trying to grow the channel, see how many more folks we can get out there. If you have any questions or wonder about this project, leave a comment. Hi Thor, what you doing? Isn't it nice that we got a new shop with invisible walls? Hey, you can just kind of walk right through anywhere you want. They're magical. Anyway.